All right, what should I show off first in this game? Like this is kind of like a basic, almost a tutorial. Oh, might as well use this as a tribute to the fine human beings who thought bringing firecrackers to the campsite would be a fun idea. This just in, I'm planning on getting earplugs for the next camping trip. This doesn't actually do anything to the game, but it's just kind of cute. Whee! And you'll also notice that, well, hopefully you notice at the bottom of the screen that there's a time rate that we're currently going. We're currently like fluctuating between like 13 or so minutes per second. But you know, that's mostly just because. Oh wait, what the heck? Did that actually cause some damage? It did do a little something. It did this. I don't know why. Like normally it doesn't really do that. Maybe one of the pieces of the explosion fell back onto the surface. But it shouldn't look like that. Well, let's see if it actually did anything in terms of temperature. Yeah, it kind of did. Because remember before when like it was warmer, it was warm in the equator and colder out in the north and south. Now the northern hemisphere is warmer by 1 degree than the entire southern hemisphere. I mean, I didn't promise you guys a perfectly accurate space simulation. I promised you guys this. So, I don't know why shooting a firework off of Eunomia did that, but there you go. Oh, hi, Jupiter. Oh, wow, Jupiter actually... I can actually see Jupiter as an orb, rather than as just a little dot. I'm curious how far away Jupiter is from here. Because like this whole simulation uses a well, a default field of view of 45 degrees, which would be basically a human eye. Actually, maybe even worse than a human eye for this size of a computer. Wait, how far are we? 2.69 AU. Well, actually, that's not too unbelievable. So, like, basically, for a main belt asteroid, this would be pretty close. But, like, pretty close to the closest that it actually gets to Jupiter on its orbit. Actually, I can check that real quick. I go to View Orbits. So this does get rather confusing. Okay, so there's Jupiter. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is about as close as this asteroid gets to Jupiter ever. You can tell. A lot closer than Earth ever gets to Jupiter. And we're going to take off the orbits, because that can kind of get... I love how from this angle it's a red dot. It's just glowing with the firework that I shot that I claim does nothing, but apparently it does. Oh no, it is falling back! The debris actually falls back onto the planet. Okay. Even though this is Eunomia, which doesn't have that much gravity to it, but it has enough to attract its own fireworks, apparently. Starting to look like I'm making a domino or something. Alright. Oh, here comes another fragment. Whee! Alright, let's see what the temperature gradient looks like now. Probably not much has changed. Nah, nothing has changed. Oops. Okay. Another thing that we can do is just shoot a material onto it. Except this one actually has 5 things that we can shoot. We can shoot iron, silicate, water, carbon dioxide, or hydrogen. So let's see what happens if I fire some carbon dioxide. It says it truncates down to carbon for some reason. Oh yeah, like this this little thing here where it says auto mass / particle is like basically there's a default setting for how hard you're spraying the planet based on how massive the planet the target planet actually is. So like if I were to switch from here to say Venus, it would be much more. Let's use some carbon dioxide. It all missed. the secret here is like see how it's 10 kilometers per second? We're going too fast in terms of time. We need to go like 14 seconds per second. There you go. Now we can actually see what happens. Whee! Well, thanks to the wide spreading, some of them are gonna miss. Okay, that's interesting. So what it looked like what happened was like you saw how it slowed down. I think it was trying to like form a little atmosphere around Eunomia, but I was still shooting at it too quickly for them to actually be captured and become an atmosphere. Oh, you don't throw a firework at the planet, you throw it from the planet. See, launch a firework from the selected object that explodes into colorful particles. However, there is a launch tool. Sorry to spoil this for you, but generally speaking...
Oh no.
But generally speaking, when you launch something, it doesn't split in half. It'll either create a little mark. Well, first of all, I've already binded the 1 through 8 keys with a couple of objects that I can throw at planets. First of all, I need to go into the launch menu and select which velocity I want. So I'm going to set it to, like, just for starters, 52.5 kilometers per second. Number 1 is a basketball. This is not going to do anything. See? Absolutely nothing. Now you can do whatever you want with, like, the settings. Like there's preset stuff that starts I can't remember where it starts out, but like I'm pretty sure 7 is Jupiter and 8 is the sun. Hey, don't take my ball and throw it into space. That's just mean. So you're a basketball fan? Alright, well, I see what you're saying about about the moon's formation, but I think like when you say creating body A and body B, that's like, huh? I guess maybe I misinterpreted what you were trying to say. I can always try that. But anyway, the next object that I have is Comet Halley, and what's kind of interesting is to see what happens if you strike it at a particular angle. Come on. Alright, so I'm going to try and just, like, barely scrape it and see what happens. So we're going to want to, check out this. The gradient. There we go. You'll also notice that the music gets subtly more epic when a collision event happens. Now you want to talk about your little things in a game. So as you can see, what happens now is, like, basically the entire planet is the same temperature except for the pieces that were hit, which are now several hundred degrees, but cooling rapidly. Like, we're still only going at 4.5 seconds per second, so, like, only a couple of times faster than real time. Notice that it kind of exposed a little watery region, even though there wasn't supposed to be water on this planet. But it is now. See, it's there now because I hit it with Comet Halley, which has water on it, so it kind of transfers some of its mass over onto Eunomia. And it's being reabsorbed. There's something else that I wanted to... Okay, it says simulation can't run any faster with current settings. Yeah, we're going to run into that problem a lot with my garbage computer. Which, by the way, the game straight up warns me. Right here, graphics hardware is below requirements and may affect performance. So yeah. Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the impact. Actually, it's pretty interesting. If you want to really take a close look at it, press C. Which will then give you a first-person look directly from the surface. So it's kind of like a frost layer forming above the water pool that I just created. Like, it didn't take very long for the surface to cool down. In fact, it's already down to negative 95 degrees. Because it didn't hit it all that hard, all things considered. Hey, you want to see me try and melt this? Let's go a little bit slower. How about a laser? Let's see. Where do I want to go with this? Negative. We don't want a negative. Alright, hold on. Radius of... it's 25 centimeters. I don't think we need that much power. .88 terawatt laser. Wavelength. Make it orange. Just cuz. So we're gonna get back to that little impact part and see if we can't make it liquid again. This will probably fail. Just spoiler warning. But here we go. Oh!
Oh no.
This planet is now 14 million degrees Celsius. I mean, you saw me, like, decrease. You saw me decrease the power output of the laser by a factor of 100, and it's still completely vaporized this world. Sorry to break this to you, but this world is dead. So you're gonna notice real quick here that let's see. Where is it? Mass loss. Remember when mass loss was like what 360 grams? Now it is. Let's see. 2.81 billion kilograms. Is an asteroid. It was already dead. Whoa, okay. You want to be that way. So what's gonna happen in this simulation is like it's gonna just like slowly shrivel up, shrink, and die. Oh wow, the mass loss rate's actually going up and down for some reason. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, but then I lost my mind trying to trying to heat it up a little bit and instead killing it. Oh yeah, Roche lobe. So like, I'm gonna try this later on a different world. The Roche lobe is basically how far away a moon can be around the world before it just breaks away and starts orbiting the sun instead. Basically, is one way to think about it. No, the term is actually more often used for binary star systems where it has a kind of a different meaning. But for our purposes, it's basically how far away you can put a moon and have it still orbit Eunomia instead of the sun. Alright, so the next thing that I want to do is... Yeah, rip. The next thing that I want to do is... Oh, shoot. Commentary tail. But yeah, speaking of that... Yeah, when you see that, that's when you know that it's really losing a ton of mass. Oh, it's ejecting mass out of both areas. I mean, out of both hemispheres. So yeah, speaking of which, the next place that I want to go to is Comet Halley, where I want to punt it like right at the sun, basically, so that it forms this huge long tail. And there's a couple of ways that I can do that. Wait, is Eunomia going to survive this? It stopped glowing. How's the mass loss rate? Oh! Eunomia survived! It's back to the normal mass loss. It's only a few 100,000 degrees now. Well, yeah, but see, look at this. Halley. It does not matter how many times you shoot the same object. Like, it's still gonna be there for shooting. So yeah, Eunomia actually survived that somehow. So let's try and speed this up and see what the long-term effects will look like. Notice how the temperature map changes over time, because like now it's molten. Now it's not just like this blazing aura of white. Now it's actually more like a molten crust where it's orange. It's not as hot anymore. See, the iron is still solid, the silicate is still solid. Somehow, it made it. Kind of inspiring. Oh, and here's an interesting little thing here. Wait, I think. Oh wait, that little red firework is still orbiting. You can actually you can follow the little fragment if you want in this game. So you can get a different perspective on the planet. Whee! So yeah, I gave Eunomia a firework moon. How about that? Okay, well, it looks like the burn is subsiding, and maybe Eunomia can finally go back to normal. All right, I think we're done. I think we're done with Eunomia.